Welcome back to another episode of the Pickle Pulse. I am your host, Brian Green, and as always, my co-host, Ryan Lopez, in the house. What's up, my dude? Good morning to you.
What's up? How are you?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Same with me.
I tell myself that every day. It's like try to speak it into existence. So for you people who understand that, I try to speak it. Living the dream, baby.
Yeah, I need some of that energy.
Yeah? Dude, you been working hard?
I'm just getting annoyed at work. That's it.
How do you get annoyed working in a pickleball place, other than the people are annoying?
Well, one guy came in and he was just like, well, apparently like someone booked him for like the wrong reservation time.
Okay.
So then he comes in and he's just like, yeah, well, someone booked me for the wrong reservation time. I got the email confirmation it was wrong, but you know, I'm here now. Like it was supposed to be for 9 p.m. But their booking was for 9 a.m. So it was a mistake.
Okay.
So he came in last night and I was just like, so you mean to tell me you got a confirmation for the wrong time
and you didn't change it?
And you didn't change it or care to call in to say anything to anyone?
It's like, I'm just going to show up.
Yeah, I was like, we close in 30 minutes, right?
Wow.
And his friend was like, he's like, are you serious? I drove all the way out here from Ashburn.
Oh, I was brutal.
Like, you think I care?
Doors are closing in 30, Hoss. Wow.
But it's like little things like that. I was like, come on, dude. Like what are we doing here?
Come on. I mean, and you could have looked up the hours of operation and all that as well.
I was like, you literally, like, you got the confirmation and it says the wrong time.
Yeah.
Nothing clicked in your head and was like, maybe I should give him a call and just like update something.
He just like put his head down and walk away?
Yeah, he's like, I'm still going to show up at 9 p.m.
Oh my God.
Like, what?
It's just like, just walk away, sir. Walk away.
It's like, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Just little things like that. Like, oh, geez.
All right, dude. Well, we've got a good pod today.
Yes.
We're going to talk PPA Australia.
Yeah.
Very interesting to watch that this past weekend. We've got Tucson coming up. Interesting note. Both of these events are Proton sponsored events.
Yes.
Dude, they're just throwing cash here, there, and everywhere. Right. Buy those flamingos, guys. They're making lots of money.
That's what I noticed too. It said like Proton Australia, Proton Tucson. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Back-to-back tournaments. Like, okay. All in.
Right.
So we're going to talk the PPA. We've got an update on some of the paddles that we've been testing and trying out. Yeah. Ryan's had a TRUFOAM now for about a week, and he wants to give us a breakdown on his love, not love, little teaser on that, and that it's not as good as you think. Maybe. Who knows?
I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Who knows?
You know?
That's it. And then we've got our tip of the week. Yeah. Hopefully you put together something for that, Ryan.
I did, yes.
All right, good. It better be good.
A little something here and there. A little sprinkle.
And then again, we're going to do our shout out to some local players because we've got some all-stars in this area. And there's really no shortage of people that I want to talk about that are doing really cool things, that are making waves in the pro scene, that are just getting better and or, you know, helping people. Yeah. So I love that little segment and win with that. Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right, dude. PPA Australia. Hot takes. Any of them?
It's a disappointing showing
for the Australians.
For the Australians. Yeah. I feel like I was expecting a little bit more.
Yeah.
But some of these like early round matchups were like just beat downs.
Oh, like 11-0, 11. Yeah. I saw a double pickle.
I think it was a Cutie and Klinger. Like I think they dropped 2 points in their first 2 games.
They did. That was it. 11-0, 11-0, and then 11-0, 11-2.
Same thing with Colin and Jay. 2 points in their first 2 games. I think I put a note down. Yeah. It was their first round match. These 2 guys had it. I'm not saying Duper is 100% accurate.
Okay.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like 2 of these guys had a rating of 3.7 and 3.6.
Oh.
You can throw me in there.
I mean, yeah, you would have done better.
Like, come on, what is it? Like,
the interesting thing is, like, I watched some of those matches. I don't think they were 3.5s.
Yeah.
They were, it seemed more like the pros flew to Australia to play 4.550s.
Yes.
But
there was like a good amount of players in that draw, like representing Australia, that were like under a 4.5 rating.
So that tells you right there that the Duper algorithm is good to a point. Yeah. But if you're in an area like India, like Australia, like a Vietnam, if there aren't 6.0 rated players, it's really hard to get up to 4.550 because no matter who you beat, Duper doesn't recognize them as a good player.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what's kind of going on with that. But I will say, watching it, I felt really bad for the Australian commentators because they're trying to hype their players. Yeah. They're like, yeah, that was a great shot, but how excited can you be when you're getting pickled over and over again?
Right.
And even as you went deeper and deeper into the tournament, the Australian players that hung on, I mean, Joey Wild played with Zane Navratil.
Yes.
He was really good. He's definitely a 5'5", close to 6'0" player. And held his own, but it was nice that he had Zane to really play mixed doubles with him.
Was it him or Zane?
It was Zane. I mean,
but he was doing his thing though, for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, Zane was playing like 65. It was like a Ben and Colin kind of split.
Yeah,
like 65-35.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And in the end, we got a gold medal match out of it that was phenomenal. Did you get a chance to watch that?
Yes. With it was McGuffin, Tardio, then Klinger and QD.
Yeah.
It was 5-set thriller.
Dude, it was amazing. And what's really cool is this young team of QD and CJ. Yeah. That is a team that I think could do well here in the States and make a run through a lot of heavy teams. Mm-hmm. McGuffin also. Like, I don't know what this guy's doing. He's obviously on the best steroid treatment ever because he gets older and older, but it does not look like it. His play is phenomenal, and the guy is solid. He just doesn't miss that much.
No, he's in phenomenal shape. Did you hear his post-game interview?
Oh, it's the greatest. It is absolutely
in my
greatest.
head, I'm just you can only say that stuff and get away with it on Pickleball TV.
Yeah,
you're not saying that on ESPN or something.
I wish they would have panned to his wife somewhere in the stands so you could see if she was stoked on that or not.
Yeah, just puts her head down.
She knew what she got into when she married him. I'm pretty sure.
No, but the tournament was fun. It was electric. I think all the results were was kind of what you were expecting. Yeah, for the most part,
I would agree.
I think for the most part, it was only the Australians really only showed up for I guess it was women's singles.
Okay,
I think Caitlin Christian won, but then there was I think the number 2 seed was Jessie Irvine.
Yeah,
I was well.
So basically, there weren't enough players to really give it a real pro draw.
Exactly.
But a couple of the Australian girls. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank on her name right now.
Roos Van Rieck.
Rose Van Rieck, and then there was another one. It was now it's driving me nuts, and I want to know. I didn't write it down. Typical. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Way to be prepared.
There was another match I was watching. I think it was Elise Jones and Tyra's first round match. But they were playing these 2 ladies. They had matching T-shirts. I think it said Australia Warriors or something.
Okay.
Man, it's just brutal stuff.
Well, the other thing
Missing
I noticed,
dinks, just balls above the shoulder, just sending them long. They were just driving balls into the crowd. I was like, oh man, this is.
I noticed
the white flag at this point.
In those early rounds too, it seemed like the pros were like, "Oh my goodness!" They realized who they were playing, and then they didn't even try that hard and beat them, pickling them.
Yeah.
So,
scoreline was 0-2 or something, or 0-3.
Now, the positive sides of it, Australia is all in on pickleball.
Yes.
The crowds were there. The event, I think, was run and done very well. I like that they put it indoors. Yeah. There are no weather issues or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
And, I just think that the sport is going to continue to grow on that side of the world. The guys that I met down in Peru from Australia were gun-ho, and there were some really good players. I was actually surprised I didn't see any of those faces in the draw because I was looking for them. There were a couple of guys that were playing the MLP Australia, but they didn't play this PPA event, which is kind of weird. That's what I'm
thinking too. I was like, come on, but you're getting this 3-5 guy in there?
Yeah. Well, there were only 380 people that signed up for the tournament.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's like a local tournament here in the States.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, is what it is. Let's talk a little Tucson because we have a new partnership that everyone is talking about that I'm intrigued to watch. We got Ben and Hayden pairing up for the first time.
Yeah. On paper, it sounds unbeatable.
It sounds it, but what is it going to look like? That's what I want to know. Is Ben going to concede that center line and play half the court?
Right.
Or is Hayden going to be a more attacking Colin. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Meaning like he plays his 30%, but he attacks a lot more from that area.
But it's weird to think of Hayden only playing 30% of the court, right?
Yeah, he's on the center line all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And his backhand flick is one of the best shots.
Yeah.
And he does that from the left side going cross court. So it kind of eliminates that.
It could go both ways. It could be like a lot of stress off of Ben's shoulder.
Yeah,
like
I can see that.
Now he doesn't have to win every single point off his own paddle, right? Now he doesn't have to just set up every single point.
My question is, does Ben want that? I feel like he's wanted the ball for so many years to take that pressure off of him. Is that really what he's looking for? I mean, I think he's looking to win for sure, and he didn't get that last year, but we will see. We will see. My prediction is they don't win the tournament.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So who do you think would be the matchups that could give them some problems?
So that is a good question. I mean, aren't JW and Dylan playing together in this one?
J-Dub and Tardio
are together. Tardio. Okay.
Yeah. Tellez is with Frazier.
Again. Okay. I thought they were coming back together because of the Tardio split up. There we go. Okay.
So Tardio and J-Dub are playing this tournament again. I really want them to do well.
That's kind of where that's the team I see that could do it then. I mean, because Tardio already gives Ben a hard time.
Yeah.
And J-Dub is so solid if he plays. Who is Augie Gee playing with?
I'm not sure. I know at the last tournament he was with Jaume.
Okay.
And they made a semifinal run. But the team I'm looking at right here is Alshon and Dayescu. I love that pairing.
Look at you go. Okay.
I like that pairing.
I love that pairing as well. I didn't even know they were playing together.
It's a very long and athletic team.
As you can tell, I did not do a lot of research into my Tucson bracket. But yeah, that pairing is solid.
I was just on the new Pickleball tournaments website. So
okay.
It's very easy and friendly. I guess it's better than brackets in my opinion.
Doing my prep, I was trying to look at the bracket, and on Pickleball tournaments, it kept saying not available. Not available.
Yeah. So I went to players, and you can look up players by last name, but it just tells you who they're playing with and all the events they're in.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I've ran into the same issue.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's the only one thing. That's my
you
only
took
flaw.
The extra step. Look at you going above and beyond.
I guess brackets was better.
I think those two guys.
Sleeper team.
Oh, sleeper team. Come on, wait.
Newman and Wright.
That is not a sleep. They're going to be asleep after the second round when they're out.
Well, they're partnering again, so I just want to see them win, honestly.
Do you really? I mean, you know what? I've never been a Matt Wright guy, nor a Riley Newman guy, but it's cool they're coming back together.
Yeah.
And they were the second best team. In 2022?
2022, 23, just constantly
losing to Ben and Colin.
Yeah. I think they
beat them once.
Yeah.
Beat them once.
Win here and there.
And then split up. The question is, they come back together now, but why? Because there's so much more competition.
I was going to say, I think the game has evolved a lot since 22 and 23, so I don't know if those play styles, still, are going to result in big wins and getting to the podium, but, we'll see this tournament.
Should be interesting. My prediction is they don't make it out of the round of 32.
Yeah. And I'm looking at Matt Wright because of that.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Riley can be good, but at the same time, what is it? The power of the current paddles and the new play style does not fit Riley's game as well as it used to. In that guys are going to be ripping it at him, and yes, he has great hands and he can get it back, but his hands aren't so much better than everyone else now. So there's my take on it, in that they're out after the round of 32.
Oh, God.
We'll see. We'll see. The game's getting young, bro. The game is getting young, and if you're not 20 years old and can move, as you'll find out in our local player Shoutout, the game is getting young, and there's some studly players that are in their 20s in college that are out there and will be on the tour very soon.
Yep.
All right. So that's some cool predictions. I like that. I would say my prediction is going to be Tardio and J-Dub win it. I like the Dayescu Alshon as well, but Alshon seems to not be able to get over the hump, right? He can get deep into a tournament, and then something happens, whether it be
some sort of mental breakdown.
Nailed it. Yes.
That's what it was. Especially in the last tournament, like him and Tyra were up 10-4. on like Bright. Not a Bright. It was like Waters and Johns, and I was like, you have to close this. You have to.
That's some crap Brian Green does, dude.
Right.
That's like,
I did that yesterday. No, I'm joking. No, I'm bullshitting.
Dude, we've got this Monday night league that is so much fun because the level of play is, I would say like half the teams are 5-0 plus and the other half are 4-5 plus, but there's no easy out. Like every match is really, really solid. And man, I have just noticed that the people that are in it are wailing on the ball, and pickleball is absolutely changing. Yeah, so it's crazy. I don't know where I was going with that story. I just completely blanked on it.
No, but it's true. Like, you're not seeing as many people dropping the ball. I'm not saying they're not dropping the ball, but it's just like, I think it's a lot more common to see third shot and fifth shot drives.
Yeah.
You know, because a typical combination you would see was like third shot drive, and then you'll drop the fifth somewhere like in the midcourt. But then you have guys like Mo. That are like ripping thirds, and then they're ripping fifths, like in the transition zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that kind of, it's a good segue into the next one. Let's talk some of these paddles that are coming out, ones that you've played against. I know that we want to talk a little TRUFOAM again, but before we even get there, speaking of that, I played against a guy on Monday night with the Pro XR Proto Hype.
Yes, I saw it once.
I guess this paddle's been out for a couple of months now.
Yeah.
Not a lot of talk about it out there, but dude, this paddle is hot.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was Petter who I was playing against. I mean, the guy hits.
Oh, Petter was using it.
Yeah. And
that makes a huge difference, because the guy I saw playing with it was like a 4-0 player, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of mopping you right now, buddy.
Yeah.
Petter's a different animal.
He really is, dude. And I'm telling you, on Monday night, he was third shot drive, fifth shot drive, seventh shot drive, and they were roping.
Yeah.
And it's just, the ball was coming so hot, but on top of that, the spin that this paddle creates. So I guess where I'm going with that is a paddle that hasn't been talked about as much out there, and I think could fill the void for some of these controllable power paddles that will actually pass the test. I was impressed with it, although I will say by the end of the evening, I mean, the guy hit so hard, the paddle was making a funny sound. He almost broke it that night, hitting it that hard. And I wanted to say something to him, but I didn't. But if you're watching this, Petter, check your paddle, man. I think it might be broke. And of course, he's playing with Daniel Thomas, like the two hardest hitting guys around here, or close to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a fun match. We lost 15-9.
Good. No, joking. No, but it's funny too, man. Like, you know, some of these paddles, like, they're really hot. Like, it's insane. Like the Helios paddle that I was using the other day, I subbed in for a Pickleballers League, and I was playing, you know, Mike Milanov, and he noticed it too. I was like ripping a couple forehands at him. You know, I took an overhead. Yeah. And he was just looking at me like, what are you using? He's like, what is this?
Interesting, because I mean, I've hit that paddle very briefly, but I didn't notice anything crazy.
It has a little bit of like a Gen 3, like the old Gen 3 sound to it, like a little bit of a pop to it. But yeah, no, it's definitely like hot in the hand for sure.
Dang.
But again, you know, these paddles are just getting hotter and hotter. They're somehow just getting through USAPA little by little.
Well, and
sneaking through.
They sneak through or they don't sneak through, because the big news of the week is the Ripple is no more.
Yes.
All right.
Unless it's the beta version or something. That's what they said, right?
So, like, that's dumb, though, to me, because the beta version hits harder than the new version. And that's the one that Mo almost killed me with. And it's like, that paddle is so hot. There's no way it passes the test if the second generation didn't pass it.
Yeah.
And you were correct, because that was the other thing I wanted to bring up, is that if you're using the first gen, they're still on the USAP list.
Yeah.
I looked them up this morning. And so they're banned, but still on the list. Don't get it.
Yeah. Like I feel buying paddles nowadays, just like, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. Like, this paddle could be banned for all you know.
Yeah, that is very true. Well, especially if you're buying some of the Asian manufacturers. Yeah. Matter of fact, grab that Lust paddle right there. I just want to show everybody something that I've learned recently. I'm going to just lean across here. So there is a Do you see the USA Pickleball approved stamp on this paddle? I'm going to go get it real close there. All right. That is a fake stamp.
What?
I have learned recently. So the right one, the correct one is there on the carbon.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I've never seen this one before.
So that one came on all the Luz paddles that I absolutely loved. And that was because they printed it on there as they were trying to get them through approval. At this point, Luz has gotten 2 of the 3 paddles approved. What really is upsetting, though, is the paddle that I like the best, the Berserker, still hasn't been approved. The Archer and the Saber both have been approved.
Okay.
But long story short, to educate you guys, if you see that little crap stamp on there, that's not real. And you need to go and look on the paddle list and make sure that they're there. Because I learned that the wrong way. I actually went down to the APP with my Luz paddle, hoping to play with it, and realized it wasn't on the list, and I couldn't play with it, and had to play with my paddle tech. So I learned something there. All right, let's get to what everyone wants to know about. The TRUFOAM.
Oh, brother.
You've had it for a week. You've been playing with it.
Yeah.
Give me your first take on. Let's actually start with pop and power. All right, and then we'll go to spin and maneuverability, kind of like a paddle review. And so I'm just going to ask you, what is your take on the pop and power of the TRUFOAM, Ryan?
Well, the pop was very inconsistent. I think that's one of the things. It was very inconsistent. I guess like some of the games I was playing, like I would get like, solid blocks, deep into the court. And then other times it just, maybe fell a little bit short in the mid court. But the pop, again, it wasn't I wanted to say this for everyone. It's not a bad paddle. It is not a bad paddle. But for the price point of $280, it just doesn't have that wow factor where straight out of the packaging, you're loving it immediately.
Yeah.
With little to no modifications. I feel like if you have to add all these modifications just for you to like a paddle, just for you to like it, I feel like that's not the best sign. Right.
And what did you weigh it when it came in?
Yeah, when I weighed it, it came in at I think it was 7.9 ounces.
Oh, okay, good. So it's a little on the lighter. I thought they were all like 8.1 to 8.3.
No. Mine came in at 7.8, 7.9. Once I put the weights on, towards the throat, it came in around like 8.1, 8.2, something around that. But yeah, pop was, was pretty good, but it was a little bit inconsistent. The power aspect, I mean, like, it was, I feel like I had to really force it.
Okay.
And
let's go scale 1 to 10. 1 being the Selkirk Lux. 10 being the Yola Mod. Like,
the 1 being a Selkirk Lux.
Yeah, one at a Lux, 10 being a mod. Like, where would you put it in that spectrum?
I would say a 5.
Oh, wow.
I'd say a 5. I can always tell immediately off of the serve. And the serve just didn't have as much juice on it.
So this is a control paddle, is what you would call it.
It didn't have as much juice on it. And the moment I switched from this paddle, and I switched it maybe like 5 games into like my Revlon, which is what I'm using right now. My friends like immediately noticed. They're like, yeah, you're like roping this thing right now off the forehand.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So pop and power, it's got decent pop, but the power is definitely not there.
The power is definitely not there. You'd have to give it a pretty good swing.
And then would you say that the sweet spot was exceptional on this?
I think the sweet spot's not bad. I think for resets it was pretty good. Dropping the ball was pretty good with it. Dinking, felt consistent. It definitely feels a little bit soft on the face. I'm like, it's not a bad paddle for sure. But my biggest thing was it just didn't have that immediate wow factor. When you play with those Yola paddles at Mod 3S, Gen 3, right out of the packaging, you can tell it's like this is going to do some damage.
Yeah.
I think the first time I played with a Yola Gen 3 Hyperion, it was like 1 or 2 games in, and I was like, I would buy this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Hands down.
Well, and that's when I was playing with those Gen 3. My immediate take was these have to be illegal. They're so different, unique, powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I felt it immediately off of drives, resets, just like, kitchen points, dinking, speed ups. All of it felt great.
Okay.
So within 2 games.
All the other reviewers out there are saying similar things about this, but they say that there is a significantly better dwell time and or higher rate of spin with the TRUFOAM. Would you say that you noticed any of those things?
No.
And
I hit with a lot of spin too.
Does the face seem very stiff or does it seem like the ball kind of pockets in it?
I'd say pockets in it, yeah.
Okay, so it does pocket. So that's good. So
I think Mike had the same thoughts as well. It's not as stiff as like some of his other paddles. Funny enough, I think the paddle that he got, like he just hates it. Like he just absolutely did not like it.
Oh no!
So whenever he was like testing out or like demoing some of these TRUFOAMs, like he would switch out and use mine instead.
Okay.
So I had to use another paddle. He was like, "Yeah, I just do not like the one they sent me at all."
That brings up an interesting deal in that, like, how many? So they're making these out of foam, right? How big is the sheet of foam that they cut each batch of paddles out of? And then how consistent is that foam between batches? You know what I mean? So you got this one, and Mike's is significantly less for some reason. He doesn't like it. That would really piss me off at 280.
Yeah, it would suck. But whenever we were playing with it, whenever we were looking to kind of, get some thoughts on the paddle or, give our own little review and take on it, like he would just like stuff his back in the bag. He was like, "Yeah, give me yours." I was like, gosh. He was like, "I do not like the one they sent me."
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So it does pocket the ball. It's got decent spin.
Yeah, decent spin. I'm not saying it's anything crazy.
Okay.
Sure.
And then maneuverability. It feel pretty light in your hand.
Yeah, it felt pretty good in the hands too. Like it's a solid paddle.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not trying to say it's bad. I'm not trying to like downplay it or anything. Oh, I guess I am, but
yeah. Well,
but again, it's $280. That's what I'm saying. It's $280. You have all these other brands that are literally like $100, $150 less. You're getting a damn good paddle. Don't get me wrong. This is a damn good paddle.
I mean, it's a great paddle. I would agree.
Yeah.
Other than you're not getting what everyone really wants out of it.
But $280?
Too much.
$280? This thing better feel like a Gen 3 Yola.
Well, it goes back to my point from a couple of episodes ago is that you shouldn't spend over $200 for a paddle.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, like, look, I'm not going to do it. And there are so many good paddles. For example,
yes,
we've got 11.624.
They came in for a demo day.
Okay,
I looked at the price sheet, $100.
Yeah, well, that's for the Jelly Bean.
Yeah, but that's $100,
and that's a solid paddle, and that's a control paddle.
I can't say anything about $100. That's a good paddle.
Their power paddles, I think, are going to be like 170, 180, somewhere around there.
Still cheaper than that.
And you can use my code Pulse10, and that'll save you 10% and bring it down to like 160. Yeah. So I can tell you that, like, David hasn't sent me any paddles. I'm his redheaded stepchild. Appreciate that, buddy.
I think another thing I wanted to say too. I don't know if you noticed this, like, but I think it's like with the grip circumference of some of these paddles. I didn't like the grip on this.
So I hear it's a foam grip. It's also foam. Is it squishy?
It's not like
hand it to me. I want to know.
It just feels a little bit wide, if that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, it's definitely not stiff, but
their Carbon 1 control paddle? That had a pretty like wide grip as well, but same thing. Like it almost covered like the size of my palm.
You took the original grip off of this, didn't you?
I think it's still on.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I think it's still on, and I think I just wrapped one over grip on it.
Damn, this feels really thin to me.
Really?
Actually, yeah. I don't know if I would call it wide.
Yeah, they're 3X line. No, not the 3X line. They're Carbon X line. I like the grip shape on that one. But I wish they had the Carbon X grip on this instead. Okay. Because this feels a little bit wide in the hands. This reminds me of their Carbon Control series.
Yep.
And I do not like those grips at all.
Well, it did feel a little soft
too wide.
To me. Yeah. That's kind of my take on it. But I would agree. Do you know, is it a 4 1/4 or is it a 4 1/8?
I want to say it's 4 1/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 1/4. Typically, I like the ones that are like 4.125.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Customizable, but
I would agree. All right, so that is our take on the TRUFOAM. Not worth the money.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, like I said, it could be one of those paddles too that takes like a break-in period.
Although if our viewers do want to buy one of these at $280, don't you have a code for them, Ryan?
I do have a code.
Yeah, what's your code? He doesn't know his code.
I have several. Yeah, so the code for Carbon is all capital letters, R Lopez 10.
Okay.
R Lopez 10.
There you go. So if you're going to buy one of these ridiculously expensive paddles, you may as well save 10% and show love to Ryan and the channel here. use R Lopez 10. I'll have it up on the screen.
Solid paddle, man. The drops felt great. Dinking with it felt great, but it just didn't wow me.
Yeah,
outside. Like it wasn't anything crazy for me. And I've played a good like 4 sessions with it. Like I drilled with Sarah with that paddle for like 2 hours. I played like 3 or 4 sessions with it, and again, I'm just like, eh.
I think if you're looking for a control paddle, that so I guess what everyone else is talking about is the longevity of the paddle. Yeah, meaning it's going to play and you'll be able to use it for. Yeah, but my problem is the grit's going to wear out in 3 to 6 months.
Mike said
even if the core is good.
Yeah, Mike said the same exact thing. I think he had questions about the grit as well. Yeah, it's not really like grabbing the ball or applying all that extra spin that he was wanting, because Mike and I play with a lot of topspin. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And again, just the grit on it itself, I don't know.
It's still it's a lighter grit. It's a finer grit for sure.
Fairly smooth.
And after a while, it'll certainly break down because that's what carbon fiber does. So if you want a control paddle and you want to spend a lot of money on it, use Ryan's code and you can save a little bit. But I would highly suggest going a different direction. 11/6/24 is about to drop their new paddles. I believe today's the 5th and like 2 days on the 7th. So I would grab one of those. I hear good things. Although I also heard that Broker de-lammed his first one very quickly. Oh, sorry. So we'll never know. We'll see. This paddle thing is kind of crazy. It's the wild, wild west right now. Like if you have a lot of money and you're willing to throw it around, get some of these cool paddles. But I'm just not convinced that the wow factor, that the hype that is being brought to the table on all these is really there. That's kind of my take. The one paddle that I do want to try is the Franklin C45.
Yes.
I think it's a good looking paddle, and watching Will Howells play with it makes me feel like I could be a pro. But at the same time,
I know David's played with it a few times, so I kind of want to try that one as well.
Yeah, he told me next time I see him, I could play with it. That's kind of where I'm going to go.
It only comes in like a hybrid shape or something, right?
It's a hybrid shape. It's a 14 millimeter. Okay, gotcha. That's it. Yeah, and it's swing weight of like 105 or 107. It's super light. Yeah. So you have to put weight everywhere on it. But I'm intrigued by that because it'd be fun to play with the weight distribution and see, where you can get it to. The other paddle that I'm excited that really hasn't been talked about, I don't even know if it's been announced, but Thrive Pickleball, one of my favorite companies, made 3 outstanding paddles last year, is dropping the smoke in the next, I think 6 weeks or so. I don't have much info on it other than it's going to be hot.
Okay. Oh, great. Another hot paddle on the market.
Yes, exactly. Thus it being called the smoke.
Just what we need.
So yeah, that's kind of paddle updates. Anything else you want to talk about? We cover it all?
Well, the paddle I'm using right now, it's a brand out of Michigan, Revelin Sports. Okay. I'm using their Revelin Pro Reach hybrid. But, elongated shape, but very low swing weight for an elongated paddle. I think mine came in like 114, 115 for an elongated shape.
That's not bad. I like that.
But it's new technology, so I think they have basalt on the face of the paddle, which you can find in like volcanoes or something.
I was gonna say, what is basalt?
Yeah,
is it like rock?
So it literally, like on the face of the paddle, it says like lava face, but I think it's a material found in like volcanoes or like lava or something. Okay, but solid paddle. That's what I'm using right now.
So where did you find this paddle? Where did you hear about this?
Mike,
of course, of course.
He just comes in with just a backpack of paddles. Just like literally just 10, 20 paddles at a time.
Mike truly has an issue.
Yeah, but
this is Mike's strain we're talking about, by the way, guys.
Random Instagram stuff. So I came across it and I was like, this paddle looks pretty cool, actually. And then Mike took it out of the bag. He's like, yeah, I kind of forgot I had this. I'm like, wait, hold on, I got to try it.
Wow.
And I bought it on the spot.
Oh, dang.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you test out a paddle and you immediately like it after like 1 or 2 games. I told Mike straight up, I was like, you selling this thing?
Well, and that's the way you felt about the Nexus when you played with it too, right? Yeah, you were like, you grabbed it and you go, oh, but it's just good.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's just a really good paddle.
And I stole it from you.
Yeah. Well, no, you didn't steal it. I gave it to you. Whatever,
good man.
It's yours. All you want.
Yeah, but exactly. It's like you play with a paddle like once or twice, and you immediately like it. They're like, there is a wow factor. It's okay. There's something good about this paddle. I like the way it feels in the hand.
Yep. And a little update. If you were intrigued by that Nexus, that's another paddle that's way under $200. You can use my code Pulse10 or Pulse15. I can't remember which one it is. and they're back in stock. So he's fully stocked up again. He's got those Nexus Pro Stars, and they are good paddles. Yeah. I mean, really solid.
Comes down to, I think with the code, comes down to under 160.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of that's the sweet spot, man.
It's a good paddle.
That's kind of the sweet spot in paddles, really. And unless you're coming to the market with some crazy new technology, which is what Carbon has done, and I understand that's why they need to charge a little bit more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's hard to pay more unless the paddle is 30% better than everyone else.
Yeah,
and it's not. So my take on paddles.
That's it.
All right, dude. We're down for Coach Ryan's tip of the day.
Tip of the day.
Who are we going to be talking to today? We talking to 4-0s, 5-0s, 6-0s?
I think this could just be, anyone, just like simple mistakes here and there, but, just not popping up.
Okay.
And this could be for almost every shot, right? Popping up from the baseline, on drives, same thing with, resets in the transition zone, staying down. Same thing with dinking, just like staying low and just keeping that contact point low. Because the more you start to pop up, it changes the contact point, on that paddle.
So when you say pop up, are you meaning like lift your head?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, lifting your head, or when you're hitting a drive, you're just as you're about to make impact or contact, you lift up like that. Same thing with dinks, right?
Yep.
You set up for the dink, you have your paddle below the ball, everything looks perfect. All of a sudden, just as you're about to hit it, you pop up, and the next thing you know, the ball is like 3 feet above the net.
Dude,
and
that is a really good tip, because it's something I've been thinking about a lot.
It's such a simple fix, and I catch myself doing it too.
I do it, yeah. And when I do it, I notice that a lot of my drives either are sailing or going into the net.
Yeah.
But when I stay down on it, my drives are solid.
Yeah. I notice it a lot too with like my backhand, like two-handed backhand roll dinks.
Okay. I don't have one of those, so.
Well, I always know it's like if I ever miss this thing like into the tape or like an inch or two below the tape, it's like you popped up on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You already bent your knees. You got your paddle below the ball. Just as I made impact to rolled it, go cross court, I ended up popping up. Like there's no reason for that ball to hit like, an inch or two below the net.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense.
I think footwork in general. Oh, hey, Sean. Nope. Can't take that call right now. I think footwork in general is really key to not popping the ball up.
Yeah.
You got to keep your head down when you're hitting the ball and through. I love that tip, but also the footwork and being able to stay down and low is really key. And then also your fitness level.
Yeah.
Does your body
keep it up over the course of a game?
That's exactly right. And that's the thing I've really been thinking about for myself is like I usually start out gangbusters. Like the first 3 or 4 games, I'm on fire. And then as soon as my legs start to go, mistakes start happening.
Start getting lazy.
Yeah,
start
stand
stretching.
Up straight.
Exactly.
I don't want to stay down at the kitchen line and I get body bagged 3 or 4 times. That's something. Fortunately, we have all these great players around, and they give me tips. And if they see something, and Ross is a great guy to have watch you play. Yeah. And that's what he said. He's like, dude, you're standing too tall at the kitchen line. You're just giving them a huge target. And so I've been really focusing on trying to stay low, bend those knees, and be athletic.
Right.
That's right. Don't be lazy. Be athletic.
Me, lazy.
Yes.
Well, yeah, so that's my tip of the week.
I love it.
Stay down, stay low, keep your head down.
I love it.
Just imagine there's like a roof above your head. And you just can't pop up.
Don't. All right. Last little bit is local highlight. So let's see. All right. So local shout out. There are 2 guys that I met last year at, where was it? The Fredericksburg. There's a college down there. Is it like Marymount?
Mary Washington.
Yeah,
University of Mary Washington.
There we go. They got a killer tennis facility. I played a tournament down there.
Yep.
And I showed up for my singles day, and the open singles were finishing up. There was the gold medal match. And I watched 2 guys slug it out who were just beast mode. Guy named David Beiger and another guy named Ryan Morneau. Okay, this is about a year and a half ago. These guys have stayed with it. David is out of UVA. Ryan Morneau is out of JMU, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And this past weekend, there was an MLP style event hosted by Elevate Pickleball. And the best of the best in Virginia and Maryland, for the most part, went down there to take part of it.
Yeah.
So I think Ryan Morneau is a 5'7". I think he was the highest rated player.
Yeah.
He's also, come to find out, I did a little research, number 2 in singles for the collegiate world behind Jack Monroe, and number 6 in doubles. So I had no clue that he had come up so far, but I hadn't seen Ryan play in a long time, and watching some of those matches on the stream, because PPB Richmond has their own live stream.
Yeah, okay.
And they host a lot. But long story short, shout out to you boys. Your game is unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, watching those guys play, the level that they've brought it to, I mean, pro is coming. I see the PPA for you guys in the future. Both of you. They're athletes. They're 20. They freaking hit the ball hard. Right. Their hands are unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, like, go and I'm going to send you a link so you can watch just a match of those two boys just going after it. But shout out to you, Ryan Morneau and David Beiger. Looking forward to watching your pro careers. The Pulse salutes you. You're supposed to do that with me there.
Oh, sorry.
We salute you.
I didn't catch on to it. Sorry.
Oh, man. Anything else before we close out?
No, that's it.
That's good stuff. Well, if you've enjoyed this, just take a moment to like, to subscribe, comment. What team do you think out there is going to win the PPA this past weekend or this upcoming weekend? I'd love to hear that from you. And until next time, we'll see you on the courts.
See ya.
Peace.